Hi everyone, I just want to show you this neat little app that I found. It's called Dilution Calc on iPhone and Android, and it's really helpful when you're mixing with different reconstitution volumes, you have different vials with different amount of units, or you work in a practice where there's different dilutions and you just need something to really input it quickly so you don't have to take the thinking out of it. We should all know how to do it by multiplying and we need to be memorizing how much we're actually reconstituting, but this is good when you're first starting out and you're not sure. So for example, I'll use a Botox vial here. So most of those vials that we use are 100 units per vial. I like to use a 2.5 reconstitution volume. That's how I learned, and that's how I've been reconstituting for the last 10 years. So I'm going to put a 2.5 in there. I like to use the 50 unit, and here you just press down the drop down menu, and I like to use the 50 unit insulin syringe, and I'll tell you why in just a second. So go and press go. So this syringe is going to yield 20 units of Botox in the entire syringe. So that's how much it holds. Each 5, the 5, 10, 15, 20, and those bold numbers holds 2 units for every 5. If you need an odd number, it's just going to be halfway in between. So I like these ones because most of my patients don't need anything less than 20 units per area. When I do crow's feet, I like to do one of these syringes per side because these needles dull. The crow's feet are the area that you see the most bruising and bleeding, and you want to avoid giving them a black eye. So I like to use, I use 8 to 10 units per side, and I'll fill this up to either the 20 or the 25 per eye. Another note about needle dulling is if you're going to use insulin syringes, make sure that you're taking the rubber cap off of those vials using a pair of scissors or a Kebi decapper, because it's going to, you don't want to draw up your Botox with this same syringe that you're going to be putting into the patient's skin. There have been some studies that have been done that show that you can actually get a little bit of that silicone into this needle, and you don't want to be injecting that into the patient's skin. So also it dulls. So make sure you're taking the cap off. So let's see, let's go back to do let's do Dysport now. 300 units in those vials, and I like to use a 3 cc dilution. Again, you can input whatever reconstitution volume you're used to. So let's change the syringe here. I like the NormJect Lure Slip. And what this does is it shows, okay, so a 3 cc dilution with Dysport yields 100 units in one of these 1 ml Lure Slip syringes. So I don't usually use this if I'm doing, this is Dysport, so the units are a lot more, but I don't usually ever do 100 units per area. So I like to use these ones for maybe like hyperhidrosis for the underarms or the palms, but I rarely use these large ones. Another example is, so just a quick story. So one of my colleagues, she dilutes with a 1 cc dilution for Dysport and Botox, and we ran out of vials, and the only product that I had left was her 1 cc dilution that was still there. So I went in and put this in real quick, and it actually really helped me. So 100 units per vial, we're just talking about Botox again, a 1 cc dilution, and let's put in just a 30 unit insulin syringe. You press go. What does that show you? It's actually true to unit. What does that mean? 30 units on the BD syringe is 30 units of Botox. So I know a lot of people that do the 1 cc dilution for that reason. It takes a lot of the thinking out of it. However, I don't like the 1 cc dilution, one, because that's not how I learned. I learned with the 2.5. But look at how small, if you wanted to do 2 units, that's like barely anything in the syringe. So it's really hard to get precise with anything less than, let's say, 5 units of Botox. So that's pretty much it. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. Leave any comments, or you can message me on Instagram at nursemarissa_ after each name with 1 S.